My name's Jimmy. Lord of the Jimmy. Now it's time for 007 Reviews. Last time we talked about GoldenEye, my pick for the best James Bond film of the series.
The pleasure, I'm sure, was all mine.
But what is the worst James Bond film of them all?
There can be only one.
Is it Moonraker? When I was a kid, Moonraker was considered to be the worst film of the series. It's cartoonish, boring, and absurdly ostentatious. But it's not the worst.
Take a giant step for mankind.
License to Kill? Timothy Dalton's final Bond movie is dark, takes itself too seriously, and just doesn't feel like a Bond film. That being said, License to Kill is surprisingly good. Not the worst by a long shot.
I had the feeling my luck was about to change.
Then came Die Another Day. Yeah, you hear a lot of Bond fans criticize this movie. Oh my god, it's so over the top. Oh my god, the use of CGI is so bad. Oh my god, Halle Berry is so bad. Oh my god, the Madonna theme song. Actually, that's a pretty legitimate complaint.
Absolutely.
But I actually enjoyed the first half of Die Another Day, certainly a lot more than its disappointing second half, but not the worst in the entire series.
Saved by the Bell.
No, the Bond film that deserves the title worst ever is a Daniel Craig film.
What? I heard what you said. Nobody ever mocks the greatness that is Daniel Craig.
Will, why are you dressed like that?
Because the name's Knavison. Will Knavison. Also, I have low self-esteem.
That explains a lot.
Wait, why are you in my house? Because you dared to mock the greatness that is Daniel Craig. The man has done so many great Bond movies. I mean, he's done Skyfall and Casino Royale. Well, he also did Quantum of Solace, but, you know, that film wasn't too terrible.
Well, as a matter of fact, Quantum of Solace is my choice for worst Bond movie ever.
What?
And what an elephant turd of a movie it is, from start to finish.
That wasn't very nice.
It's badly written, badly directed, has no interesting characters, you have no idea what's going on for the entire film, and it really marred my image of Daniel Craig as James Bond.
Come on. Craig's great. He's better than that pussy Pierce Brosnan. Oh, look at me. I was in Remington Steele.
I know James Bond can be very cold-blooded when he needs to be.
I'm just a professional doing a job.
Me too.
But he's also suave and classy. He's charming to women. He has a sense of humor that really separates him from being a common killer.
Shocking.
Daniel Craig is none of these things. He has no charm, no emotion, no sense of humor. He has that same thuggish look on his face all the time.
You noticed.
What did work in Casino Royale was seeing this brutish killer transform into the suave, wisecracking, iconic character we've all come to know.
That last hand nearly killed me.
In Quantum of Solace, it's like a huge step back. He feels less like Bond and more like the Terminator. I couldn't think of a single instance in that movie where he felt like Ian Fleming's creation.
Oh, come on. He's just like Ian Fleming's creation.
Did you even read any of the Ian Fleming books?
No, maybe. It's on my to-do list. You know, to his credit, even Daniel Craig admitted that the film is bad, but he blames that on the writer's strike. He and the director had to finish the script all by themselves.
Well, if he's even partially responsible for this appallingly bad script, in addition to his prosaic performance, he's got to be held responsible for stealing 2 hours of my life.
Ripoff of the Nostalgia Critic says, what?
Huh? Of course, I can't leave out director Mark Foster, the same guy who did Monsters Ball. Odd choice. He's even admitted he doesn't like Bond that much. He wanted to make a really tight and fast film. Well, it is fast. It's so fast that you don't know what's going on! Even in the beginning, which cheats us out of a gun barrel sequence, maybe Foster thought that was too long, the car chase is almost impossible to follow.
Here comes Speed Racer, he's a demon on wheels.
The editing is so fast, too many cuts, you can't focus on anything. The camera is so shaky, the contrast is so bright, you'd think they were filming this on an iPhone.
Oh, come on, it's stylized. For the cool kids, you know, like me. Hey. Continue.
Remember the opening ski stunt in The Spy Who Loved Me? That's one shot following Bond till he opens the parachute.
Okay, you know, I admit that was pretty cool.
So, what's the plot of this movie? I have no idea. Watching it again, I still can't figure out what the plot is.
Friggin' loser.
Okay, Will, since you're such a smart guy, why don't you tell me what the plot of this movie is?
Gladly, Jimford. There's all these car chases and gunfights and people being shoved through anything made of glass and Daniel Craig punching everybody in the goddamn face. And there's that one scene where MI6 looks like it was redesigned by Steve Jobs just before he died. And then Blanca does a rolling barrel attack. Pippi does something like do a barrel roll. And there's someone pile drives a helicopter onto it.
So, what's the plot of this movie? As the film opens, James Bond, has captured Mr. White and brought him back to MI6. God, are we still on this? Like the ending to Casino Royale wasn't long enough, now we have to make a 2-hour movie about it? God, this is gonna be torture.
This coffee's cold.
It turns out Mr. White is the leader of Quantum. What is Quantum? Again, I have no idea.
You really don't know anything about us.
By the way, if you look really closely, you can see CGI. Of course, the editing goes by so fast you can barely notice anything. At least with the CGI in Die Another Day, we knew what was going on. Bond is kite sailing over ice caps. It's incredibly stupid, but at least I can see what's going on. I mean...
Hey, whoa, hold on, wait a sec. Die Another Day sucked total donkey balls. Okay, granted, I never actually saw the movie, but if I did, I would have said it sucked donkey balls.
Anyway, Bond. You know what? I'm just gonna call him Daniel Craig, because this is no Bond film. Daniel Craig travels to Haiti and meets the Bond girl.
Get in.
Alright.
I don't know what her name is. I don't know if they ever even say it, so I'm just gonna call her Emo Girl.
Oh, come on, she does have a name. Her name is Cammy, or Camille, or Carmilla, Camel, Hartman.
Who is Emo Girl? Again, I don't know.
Touch me and I'll break your wrist.
She actually does mention later that she tends to kill a Bolivian general who killed her family, but her character seems so inconsistent. Like, one minute she's screaming at her lover for trying to kill her, the next minute she's all over him.
You shouldn't tease.
And just like Bond, she's a bore.
It's unattractive.
Speaking of her lover, he is Dominic Green, CEO of Green Planet. He's also a member of Quantum, who's willing to help the same power-hungry general.
What is this?
Your new government will use us as utilities provider.
This is my little villain monologue. I hope you'll like it. But he's more like a Captain Planet villain than a Bond villain. And when he faces up to Daniel Craig, the one doesn't even look like he could put up a fight. But of course, who can stand up to Daniel Craig?
Would you stop doing that?
No.
The other Bond girl is sent by MI6 to bring Craig back to London because they've realized Pierce Brosnan is a better James Bond.
Of course you are.
No, it's actually some long, boring back and forth between him and M over Craig killing everyone in sight.
If you could avoid killing every possible lead, it would be deeply appreciated.
Well, at least somebody's making sense in this movie. The other Bond girl's name is Fields.
Just Fields.
Well, her actual name, which is never uttered during the movie, is Strawberry Fields.
That's as bad as listening to the Beatles without earmuffs.
There's also an awkward sex scene between the two of them.
Aw man, Craig was such an animal in the last movie. What happened?
After Daniel Craig practices bongos on his door, Mathis, the traitor from Casino Royale, comes back as Bond's ally.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And, spoiler alert, they kill him before he does anything.
Oh, come on, he did something. He drinks wine, talks with Daniel Craig, stuff.
The scene where Mathis dies is supposed to be dramatic. It's not. And what does Craig do? He dumps Mathis's body in the trash, takes the money out of his wallet. Even Emo Girl asks,
Is that how you treat your friends?
You wouldn't care.
You know what? I don't like James Bond anymore. Seriously, this guy is a fucking asshole. I do not care if these people live or die.
Yeah, it was a dick move.
But alas, the film continues. Perfect example of how bipolar this film would be the airplane scene. Here we have a calm, steady camera scene with Craig and Emo Girl getting to know each other more.
So what's your interest in Green?
Well, amongst other things, he tried to kill a friend of mine.
A woman?
Yes. But it's not what you think.
Your mother?
She likes to think so.
Well, see, here's a good scene. They're talking to each other. There's some development. Oh, Jesus Christ, movie! What happened? Did the editor just snort a bunch of cocaine?
Do a barrel roll!
You know, where do I feel like I've seen this movie before? Michael Bay. They actually turned a 007 film into a Michael Bay movie. Actually, I take that back, because Bay would actually show us the scene with the plane exploding, but this film cuts to another shot before we can see it. They also managed to clone themselves while they're walking through the desert. Yeah, this film is weird.
We find Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields, dead and covered in oil. I suppose it's supposed to be a reference to the gold-painted girl in Goldfinger.
Wait,
Wait,
painted gold. What are you talking about?
The scene in Goldfinger when she's painted gold and Sean Connery sees her and she's dead, she's painted gold.
I've actually never seen Goldfinger.
I have an inner ear infection. Can you say that again?
I've never seen Goldfinger.
What?! There's also a License to Kill reference with M planning to arrest Bond.
I guess it's a farewell to arms.
But she forgot he's Daniel Craig, and we can't go 3 seconds without a confusing action scene. But after he's escaped, M just lets him go.
Mom, the CIA is insisting.
Give a shit about the CIA.
Language? You know, with License to Kill, you still had Q to bring some humor and lighten the mood.
If it hadn't been for Q Branch, you'd have been dead long ago.
You haven't seen License to Kill either, have you?
No, I haven't.
Well, can you tell me what Bond movies you have seen?
Well, seen Skyfall, Casino Royale, and this movie. Okay, you know what? I've only seen Quantum of Solace. Well, man, what do you expect from me? Look at me, I'm dressing like it's 1986. I feel like an extra in The Karate Kid. Look at me, man. I don't even know what the kids were into back then. How can I figure out what they're into now? I'm the best around.
Alright, let's get to the ending of the movie and get this over with. Daniel Craig has an unexciting fight, Emo Girl kills the general, the fortress is set on fire for some reason, and Daniel Craig and Emo Girl cringe in the corner, which makes no sense, seeing as how Craig was plowing through walls in the last film.
You noticed.
However, I do have to admit the scene where he is taking out his gun as if he's about to kill himself and the girl is actually one of the more memorable scenes in the film. Maybe it's that I kind of wish both of these characters were dead so that this film can be over.
That makes two of us.
But of course, Craig escapes to make another Bond movie, catches Green, and leaves him to die. Oh, and apparently Green told Bond everything about Quantum.
I told you what you wanted to know about Quantum.
Yes, you did.
Of course, we don't hear this conversation, and we never find out anything about it!
Well, you know, Jim... You know what? Fuck it. I'm done defending this movie.
Daniel Craig doesn't hook up with the girl. I'm now convinced they didn't even try to make a Bond film. And later confronts... You know what? I don't care. Just roll the credits. Oh, no. You cannot roll the fake gun barrel scene and just play the Bond theme after that pile of rat shit! This is the worst 007 film. Nothing about it feels like a Bond flick. The script is bad, the direction is bad, the characters are bad, the locations aren't glamorous, and to top it all off, it feels so pretentious. Oh, we're gonna make a different Bond movie.
Something like that.
The action sequences in Quantum of Solace are appallingly bad. And for a sequel that was supposed to tie up the loose ends of Casino Royale, it just raises more questions. They should have let Casino Royale end when it did and moved on to another story like Skyfall. Truth be told, when Will and I were rewatching this movie for the review, we couldn't finish it. It's just so boring.
I assume you have no regrets.
I don't.
Again, I have to come back to Daniel Craig. I've heard so many fans say that while they didn't like the film, Craig was still good. He's not! He has no personality, he has no likability. This is the worst Bond performance in the series. Yep, worse than George Lazenby.
You noticed.
I'm sorry, Will, but Daniel Craig's got a long way to go to make up for that quantum abortion.
You know, breaking character for just a sec. After I saw this film in theaters, I completely forgot everything about it. Literally everything. Seeing it again, it's no wonder why I did. The character motives flip-flop like crazy, most characters just disappear after a scene or two, the middle of the film goes nowhere, and everybody looks like they would rather be doing some other movie instead of this one.
I haven't even mentioned the horrendous title song by Jack White, the overuse of subtitles in this film, the fact that Q and Moneypenny are, again, not in this film, and you know what, there's so many problems with this film, I just can't go through it all. Take my advice and steer clear of this movie.
Yeah, this movie sucked. Don't waste your money.
That's right.
Thank you, man.
No problem. And now, Will.
Yes?
It's time.
Time for more Giant Robo?
No.
Oh. Oh!
Yes.
Oh.
We're going back to the beginning. So join me next time when we will be discussing Dr. No on 007 Reviewsh.
Your Sean Connery sucks, laddie.
Boom!